Welcome to Violet Light Tarot. This is the Strawberry Full Moon and Lunar Eclipse reading for June 5 of 2020. You're more than welcome, of course, to watch it anytime. And the full moon effects will, of course, take place in your system and in basically everybody for about 2 weeks after the full moon takes place. Remember that full moons are for closing off cycles, healing, saying goodbye to things. Gratitude is a big thing for full moons. So what we're looking at right now is how you're all being sort of affected, what you should be looking at, and especially with the emotional sort of connotations that are taking place right now. Because especially with the strawberry moon, as you know, this full moon is in Sagittarius, which depending on where you are in the zodiac, is in a specific house for you, which can fall under certain things. So if you happen to be a Sagittarius, it has to do with you personally. Please look up your house on Google as well as to where everything is. So basically it works in reverse. So if you're a Scorpio, then this moon is in your second house. If you're a Libra, then it's in your third. And it just progressively goes back to, so that basically Capricorns, this full moon is in your 12th house. So I'm also going to look at, maybe I'm hoping to see in the piles, I haven't actually looked at them, but I'm hoping to see something to do with your emotional equivalents and emotional states at the moment, especially with the double yaw that took place on June 4, basically when everybody was pretty much heightened quite a bit more than they normally would be. You may have found that you were more emotional or triggered more easily on that particular day, and I hope you were able to take time out and recover from that and own the emotion, but don't live the emotion. So as we go ahead, as I pick a card reading, you'd be doing pile 1, 2, or 3. You can also pick by hematite, tiger's eye, or aventurine. If you are unsure of which pile you belong to or are drawn to more than one pile, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Please check as many piles as you need to. If you need a little assistance with choosing a pile, I'll be doing a meditation in a moment. Don't forget to check in the description too. Not only will you find in the description and top comments your timestamps for your piles, but you'll also note our other links to our other platforms, including the store that we offer personal readings, as well as Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. For just a moment, we're going to have everybody just take a moment to relax. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes as you exhale. And whichever pile your eyes were drawn to as you opened them, that's the pile that's intended for you. We'll see everyone in a moment. Thank you. Okay, welcome to pile 1. Those who picked either pile 1 itself or the hematite, this is yours. So we have actually, it's going to be 9 cards today because we're sneaking in a moonology card since it is a moon reading. And we'll look at how that affects it at the end. But if you've been with the channel before, you'll know that we do 8 card spreads, and I'm going to show you each card. Don't be concerned if you see a card you're not too sure of when it first turns over. Let's look at the card as the entire spread to see what your message is, okay? So we're starting out with the Hangman. We've got the King of Wands. And Temperance in reverse. We also have No, which is wait, postpone, pause, or say no. We also have helpful person, and that says someone wants to help you. Think of whom that might be and initiate contact. We also have happy family. Chaos. Your shadow card for this is change or obsession. And your Moonology card is A Time for Healing, which is their balsamic moon. Okay? Just gonna put that right up there. So pile 1, remember that the full moon in Sagittarius is a time for fun and adventure. It's also a time to be able to speak your mind, but balance that with sort of being a bit careful of how you word what you want to say. So the idea is that you want to convey the messages you wish to convey, enjoy your time with everybody, but at the same time be aware how your words can be perceived. This does come across in this spread as well. As the Hanged Man, you're maybe a bit indecisive in how you're going to pursue something or speak to someone, or you've just been feeling stuck at this time with regard to other people and your relationships. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be with family, co-workers, colleagues, neighbors, any kind of relationship that you have currently going. We have the King of Wands, which means, as of course the Sagittarian moon, passions are high. It's also saying that you are in control of and in mastery of your passions at this time. We also have the Temperance in reverse, which again speaks about that concept of that fine balance between being able to speak your mind as you wish to and being aware of how you are received. So you might be a little bit more forceful in your terms, being that King of Wands, having that passion going. Please note again, if you are a female watching, the king is referring to the masculine energy, not the actual masculine as a person. The card of No says to please wait or pause, and it's not saying that you can't say what you want to say, it's just pause and reflect. So remember that this is, according to our Moonology card, this is a time for healing. So this is your chance, while you're having all this fun, to reconnect with people and possibly heal any kind of outlying issues you may have had in those relationships over the past few months. There is a helpful person in your midst, someone you may want to speak to, maybe bounce some ideas off them, as it were, as to how to approach certain people. Some people that you're wishing to make contact with may not be as approachable, or you may feel a little bit more nervous approaching them. So there is somebody who's available to help you and sort of guide you in this instance as to how to make that contact and how to what to say and how to word it. You do have happy families here, so that mixed with the time for healing is showing that you do have that ability right at this time to make those connections count, to, like I said, have fun. And even if you're currently in a place where you can't physically meet people, like if you're still in isolation or things are in a space where you can't actually physically meet people, you still have that ability to heal either by a video conference or by phone. Maybe talk to somebody you haven't talked to in quite a while. That one person you, for whatever reason, hasn't been on your call list. There is a notice of chaos, and I'm taking that as a warning, just because it is somewhat below the Temperance. If these were lined up a little better, not centered, but lined up, it is a bit of a clarifier for the Temperance in reverse. And again, being careful with how you word things. Just being aware of the choices that you're making in your phraseology and how you're approaching things, because chaos can ensue if the wrong words are chosen, if the wrong people are approached at the wrong times. And again, like I said, you do have somebody in your midst who's able to help you with the decisions as to when to contact people, not just how. You do have a notice here of change in your shadow, and it does say that there's an obsession. So this to me speaks that you might be obsessing a little bit in the fact that you're really paying a little too much attention to a certain aspect of each of the conversations that you're wishing to have and each of the things that you're wishing to do. Again, make sure to remember that full moons of any kind are for forgiveness. And that's in forgiving yourself as well. It's not forgiving necessarily other people, and it doesn't necessarily have to be forgiving as in you call them up, you say, I forgive you. If it's somebody you really are in no contact with. Forgiveness is literally forgiving a situation to help yourself. Not in a selfish way, but it helps you again to heal from whatever the situation was. Forgiveness isn't meant to literally appease the other person. It's meant to help you to heal from whatever happened. So if you're able to and can choose to make that contact, then absolutely do so. But if the best you can do, because there's no contact for whatever reason, if the best you can do at this time is to sort of speak into the wind or whatever and just say, I forgive whoever it happens to be. And don't forget to also forgive yourself for whatever part you may have played in whatever scenario took place, or just forgive yourself for being in whatever space that was for that to happen. That's not to say that you're in any way responsible for what happened. That's not to blame in any way, any party. But somewhere in your obsessive thinking, somewhere in your late nights of being awake, mulling over things, there's going to be a time at which you were like, why did I stay with that person? Why did I stay in that conversation? Why did I even start hanging out with them? Why didn't I leave sooner? Why did blah, 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 blah. So that's the part that you want to forgive yourself for. Forgive yourself for only living in the space you were living in at the time. Forgive yourself in only knowing what you knew at the time and not having that sort of 20/20 hindsight that you have now when you realize exactly what that all led up to and became. So pile 1, this is what I see for your full moon concentration, and the eclipses really are, especially with this particular one, are meant to enhance these feelings and these scenarios. And again, like I said, with the double yod that happened on June 4th, your reactions and your energies and your emotions will be heightened, which again also leads to the temperance in reverse and the chaos potentially. Just take a moment to pause, literally hang out in that hangman energy, heal both yourself and the other people involved, speak passionately, but not wrongly. Okay? So this is your full moon in Sagittarius, pile 1. Hope you enjoyed the reading. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for our upcoming readings. I am still getting to uploading all of the readings for the zodiacs for the beginning of June. Working on that, not to worry. And we will also be doing readings regarding the upcoming retrogrades. There's the ever popular Mercury that's happening once more. And we are still, remember, just a little side note, we are still in the tail end of the Venus retrograde as well. So that can also have an effect on your emotions, especially with a retrograde. What happens with Venus is that it brings you into an emotional state or brings up an emotional state that you may have experienced in the past, just so that you can, again, heal from it, not necessarily live through it, because sometimes who needs that, right? But sort of so you can maybe see it from your new eyes, see it from your new perspective, and heal from it even more. Thank you for hanging out for pile 1, and hope to see you soon. Bye. Welcome pile 2 to your full moon in Sagittarius or strawberry moon reading for June 5 of 2020. This is for pile 2, or those who picked the Tiger Eye crystal. We have not only the 8 cards that we usually do for spreads, but I've also snuck in a Moonology card since this is a moon reading. And we'll incorporate that as well into the spread. And don't forget, as we're placing down all of the cards, sometimes you might see something in one as I turn it over. Hold off, don't be nervous or concerned. Let's look at the entire spread as a whole, okay? So what I'm seeing first is we have the Page of Swords, followed by the 8 of Cups, and we have the High Priestess in reverse, we have Soul Family, and underneath it says, call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. We have Alchemy. You have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. Action. Movement. Medusa. And the shadow word to concentrate on is appearance. And the Moonology card for your reading is Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. And this is the South Node. Okay, pile 2. So usually I start off with the tarot cards as the first thing that I pay attention to, but my eyes are just going directly to the energy and Nick's card. It's identical. We have, granted it's 2 horses in this one, the same as the chariot would have. So you've got the black and the white horse representing both sides, either positive and negative, yin and yang, opposing anything, or 2 sides coming together, as right now in the world we all are, right? We've got action on this card. And we've also got movement. Now, the movement card only has 1 horse in it. That's not to say that the other horse is gone off and you'll never see it again, but it's just the way that they both almost have the same imagery. One's darker than the other, obviously, but it's something to consider, and we'll see how that plays out. So starting off with the Page of Swords, there's a message and communication that's coming into you fast. It's got something to do with... It's funny because the High Priestess in reverse is telling me that it's not something that you're going to intuit. You're not going to be able to know that this is something that you're going to hear. But it does have to do with the 8 of Cups. So again, this is an emotions reading. And the 8 of Cups shows sort of almost like a finishing, a stopping point. A pause in where things can be, or a stagnation of where things are headed. It's when an 8 of Cups comes in into a romance reading, it's usually indicating that this union may not be the union for you, because the 8 of Cups is as far as this union can go. The 9 and the 10 is not... It's not in the cards for that particular relationship. But with everything else here, I'm not necessarily sure that that's what we're seeing here. I'm seeing that this may, just because of the expression on her face and the concern that she's having, I'm wondering if the message is coming towards you as you're feeling this. With the heightened emotions and the heightened reactionary states of the double yod from June 4 coming into a strawberry moon in Sagittarius, it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be moving fast, it's supposed to be being careful of what you say versus needing to say what you need to say. But with the heightened emotions too and the forgiveness of a full moon, I'm wondering if you are currently feeling like whatever connection that you're concerned about is just as far as it's going to go. And it can be a friendship, it can be a business partnership, it doesn't have to be romantic, but there's a message coming in that you can't see coming. And it's telling you that this person may be part of your soul family, like this person may be part of the family of friends and group of people that you're meant to be with right now. You are golden, and you are coming into a success with everything that you touch, including this relationship, whichever kind of relationship it is. And remember, we're being asked not to don't let your past hold you back. So if you're looking at this relationship as it currently stands right now on June 5th and seeing it as this is like the last time, or I've been in this position before and we can't move from here, or anything to that where you feel like this is a stopping point, don't look to your past. Don't let your past guide you, because you are a new person. If the person you're dealing with is the person that you dealt with even the last time this happened, you are both new. You are both more enlightened. You are both on a newer level than you were at the time. You've both grown as people since last time. So what I'm seeing is that this message is asking you, literally, you're expecting to turn away right now. You're expecting to walk away. This message, which you don't see, is asking you to give it that extra chance. Take action, take movement, and again, your shadow card is talking about appearance, which to me is how things appear. It's not your appearance, it's not the other person's appearance, it's not physical appearance, it's how the situation appears. Right now, you're stuck with a shadow telling you that the appearance of where you are right now is exactly what happened last time. You're being asked by the universe and by spirit to not pay attention to that. Do not let what happened in the past dictate where you go at this point. You have the ability right now to turn this into something different. You have the ability to turn your current 8 into a 9, into a 10. Okay? If you take action and move, you are gold in anything that you're doing right now. You are gold in every action that you could possibly take. What they're asking you to do is hold on tight. Your soul family is where you want to be, and I'm guessing that this person that you're dealing with or this situation that you're in has to do with that soul family, and you're thinking about leaving because of the way things were, the way things appear like they've appeared before. And you're being asked by the universe and by spirits and by whoever you adhere to as your higher being to take a moment, listen to the message that's being provided to you right now, take action towards that person, not away. The movement is in shadow, the movement of the one horse being in shadow, and this is exactly what it's telling me. So the action and the sunlight and the greener grass, as they say, is with both of you together, is with both of you moving forward. That's the action. Your movement singularly, if you were to walk away sitting in this 8 and walk away because of past situations, I see this as ending up in a bad space. I see you ending up regretting that as a decision, regretting that as a choice. Don't pay attention to the appearance of what you're seeing. Don't pay attention to the appearance that things aren't going to get better. Put action forth between the two of you to put gold into your situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gold band, but that may help too. But put action in a gold way towards your family, towards each other. Stay together, stay in the sunlight. This is my reading for you for pile 2 for the strawberry full moon. Remember that this also happens to be a lunar eclipse, so the lunar eclipse will actually heighten the emotion. So you may be heightened in your issues with being stuck at the moment. Pull away from it. Go towards each other. Okay? Take that extra step. Take that action towards each other. Please take a moment right now to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and also hit the notification bell to be able to be notified when we're doing further readings, including the rest of the zodiacs that are coming in the next few days for June, as well as the retrogrades for especially Mercury, as well as a couple others, and of course the new moon at the end of the month and your end of the month takeaways for your zodiac. Thank you so much for joining today. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Welcome to those who picked pile 3. This is the Strawberry Moon Lunar Eclipse reading for June 5 of 2020. If you picked either the third pile or the Aventurine Crystal, this is the pile that's meant for you. We have today, as an added bonus, a Moonology card in the mix as well, which I'll show at the end, but we're doing the straight 8 for the spread. I'll show the cards each as they come out, and if you have any concerns regarding a card when you see it, maybe it's a reversed tarot card or something to do with the wording of the one of the oracle cards, hold off, don't worry yet. Let's see what all 8, or actually 9 with the Moonology card, let's see what the message is that they all come together to say, okay? So we're starting out with the 6 of Swords. We're moving to the King of Swords. And we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. We have share your voice. And this says, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. We have make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. We have magician and the mirror. Denial. And your shadow card for your reading is Oya or Deliverance. Deliverance. And your Moonology special card because of a moon reading is It's Time to Release Negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. Okay. Okay, pile 3. So what I'm going through as I'm hearing and what I'm intuiting from what I've got here, as well as remembering that the full moon this time is in Sagittarius, which means it's meant to be fun, adventurous. You're going to have heightened desires or wants and daydreams regarding travel, journeys, adventure, fun, that kind of thing. Also remember that it is a lunar eclipse, so it's going to heighten basically all of those desires, all of that power. It increases it. It's not the same as a supermoon, which increases the full moon's capacity. The lunar eclipse actually increases how it affects you. So it does increase the full moon. So if you're one of those people who does charging crystals in full moons or collects moon water, this is going to be a little extra special with the eclipse. You've got in here what I'm seeing for you, remembering that I'm remembering the yod that happened on the 4th, which actually double yod, my apologies, the double yod, which is just an increase in all kind of reactions and emotions. What I'm seeing here is literally you're starting out with that Sagittarian desire to take a journey. The 6 of Swords is just, you're going. That's all there is to it. You're ready. You do have also the King of Swords, which you are mastering or in mastery of your ability to communicate. Whether it's things that you're in knowledge of, special skill set, or if you just graduated from university or just graduated from high school and or are in the midst of doing that with this month, then it could be communication with regard to or considerations with regard to your specific field or your specific trade and skill that you've been mastering. You do have the Seven of Wands, I apologize, in reverse. Now, Seven of Wands, when it's upright, indicates conflict. It indicates standing your ground, being defensive, being ready to take on whatever comes at you. With it being in reverse, it doesn't mean that you're not ready. What I'm reading from this is that you, of course, are ready to go ahead with your future. You are taking that journey. You do know what you know, and you're in command of what you know and how to convey it. But you don't feel the need to defend yourself with it. You don't feel the need to defend your knowledge, to defend your desires. You're able to just go ahead and live as you are. This one right here, the share your voice, it talks about, it does mention persecution. I think it's a reverse of that, obviously. It's talking about, because it says come out of the cave expression. So the journey you're coming out of, maybe you have been feeling defensive about things, or maybe you have been a little bit in your shell lately, and you're basically coming out of that. You're coming out of that whether it's feeling insecure or having less self-esteem or, low self-confidence or something like that. You're now in mastery of the communication of what you're able to do, and you know what you want to say, and you are now actually taking that step forward, or the journey. You're going ahead with it, and you're going to go ahead and communicate to whoever you need to talk to, anybody at all. It can be going for job interviews. It can be going for master's degrees or PhDs, or the varying school interviews you have to do for things like that. If you haven't done that yet, or if you're doing your final interviews at the moment, speaking to somebody about maybe the family business, or just speaking to your family about your desires to go into a specific field. Maybe you come from a family of doctors, truckers, whatever, and you want to go into something else. You want to go into acting. You want to go into law degree. You want to do, whatever it is, you're able to communicate that at this time to them in a successful way. And you're able to come out of yourself in such a way that you're expressing intelligently and with articulate thought and wording exactly what you want to say to them. You do have the make a decision though as well, because it is asking if you're feeling stuck. So remember I mentioned about feeling as though you had to be defensive about things. So it's basically listening to your intuition, and it's asking you to make a decision. So at this time, it's really up to you, Pile 3, as to who you need to talk to, what you really need to talk about, and how you need to put those words into play for yourself, and how you need to basically put forth your ideas, and to make your argument exactly how you need to make it to get the end result you want to get. We do have the man in the mirror here as well. The magician in the mirror. So magicians, of course, the same as they do in tarot, the second card in tarot, it speaks of manifestations. So the mirror is also holding up a mirror to yourself, to your current being. What part of you can you or are you taking on this journey that you're going on? What part of you do you maybe need to shed at this time? What part do you need to let go? Remember, this is a full moon, which is about letting go and growing into the next level, so that when the new moon comes at the end of the month, you're ready to literally start the new thing. So the voyage, you're ready to start it now, but you won't actually be taking those first steps out into that new chapter, out into that new life until about 2 weeks from now, until closer to the new moon. But what you're doing now is it's asking you to come out of the darkness, come out of the cave, as it were. Don't worry about defending yourself right now, because what you really need to do is look in your own mirror, look at your own reflection. It doesn't mean physically, it means metaphorically. Look at your own self, and how do you stand up to yourself? What decisions do you need to make between now and then to move forward in that? What decisions do you need to make to be able to embody the knowledge that you possess and really sell your point? What parts of you may you have to let go of? What parts of you may you have to forgive? Full moons are all about forgiveness as well. This is not to mean that this is a chore in any way. This is not to take away from the fun and the adventure of the Sagittarian full moon. It's actually an exciting time for you to really build yourself, to really become who you want to be, to take that next step when it comes for you with the next new moon. There is a moment here of denial as well, and what it is it's more what you're denying yourself. So you do have deliverance as your shadow card. So you've got looking in the mirror. There's something that you've been denying yourself, whether it's speaking up about your chosen path, the way you want to go in the journey you want to take, or whether it's denying yourself that ability to take that next step. And what you want to do right now is you really want to just look at yourself, go into they call working on your shadow, which is ask yourself why. Why do you have issues with stepping forward? Why do you have issues with speaking to the people you need to speak with? And then finding that, and then finding your deliverance from that shadow. Find your deliverance from from what you're denying yourself, to no longer denying it. Forgive yourself as you would with any full moon. Forgive yourself for holding yourself back, and jump forward. So what we're doing, remember, you're releasing the negativity. So you're releasing the negativity, the denial, and you're delivering yourself into that phase you need to be in, so that you are in fact embodying that King of Swords and making that communication known accurately and articulately. This is what I have for you, pile 3. This is your, again, full moon for June 5, 2020. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment, please, as well. The notification bell will, of course, allow you to be alerted when we're doing further readings every week, every Sunday/Monday, depending on your time zone. A new weekly reading is uploaded, as well as the remainder of the zodiac signs for June readings are being done. We also have the varying retrogrades that are happening throughout June, including yet another Mercury retrograde, which everybody always loves. And there's the new moon at the end of the month, and also at the end of the month, we're also coming back and basically doing a reading of how June affected the varying zodiac signs and what the lesson or takeaway was meant to be. Have a really wonderful full moon. Have a really wonderful lunar eclipse. I hope you're able to see it where you are. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.